It's nerve-wracking to do this, even though I'm totally out, mostly totally out, and totally comfortable with everything and being a lesbian, which, hey, surprise, I'm a lesbian. Hey guys, what's up? It's Danny, and recently I have decided that maybe I'm going to start talking a little bit more about LGBTQ plus things on the channel, because it is a big part of me and it's something that I know I can talk about and talk passionately about, and yeah, that is why. So today, to start off this new theme, it's not really a new theme because I've talked about it in the past, but this is going to be my coming out story, my kind of figuring my sexuality out and all of that fun stuff, which is not always so fun in many cases, including my own. But for you guys and for the future of my channel, I wanted to do this video. So let's just go with it and see what happens. And we'll drink as we do that. From a very young age, I've always loved women. It started off as, like, I think in my head, fantasizing about them, like being friends with them. I remember going to see Elektra in the movie theaters, maybe like 5 times, because I was so obsessed with Elektra, the character, Jennifer Garner, which, what a character. Even before that, it was Britney Spears. I was obsessed with Britney Spears. I remember when the Madonna-Britney kiss happened, I was like totally like in awe over it. I even at one point printed out a picture of it and like hung it up on my wall with a bunch of other pictures. So that's creepy when you say it out loud and put it in a video and talk about it. Awesome. Anyway, from there, so yeah, I've always been enamored by strong females, women. Well, all my friends in junior high were like so excited to be alone with their boyfriends and kiss them and be whatever with them. I was never like that, and I didn't understand, I didn't get what the hype was. I didn't like kissing my boyfriend. It was weird and just not right. And so then I, thought there was something wrong with me. Like, why don't I like kissing boys when all my friends like doing it? I really thought, well, it really, for a long time, especially, going into late junior high school age, I thought I just wasn't capable of loving. I thought that for a long time. And it's a hard thing to go through. It's a very difficult way to feel. Yeah. But I had a boyfriend all throughout high school. I kind of dated on and off, and he was my best friend. I loved him dearly. I still love him as a friend to this day. He will always mean so much to me, but again, like, I never wanted to be alone with him. I never wanted to kiss him. I never felt that desire to be with him, and I never was. We dated on and off through high school, and I don't know how he put up with me for this long, and I apologize dearly for making you go through that. But it was never in my head. It made me nervous. It made me, I don't know, it made me feel a lot of things, and I just never, it never clicked as to why. But not once did I ever really think about, I really like this boy. I feel really attracted to him and I want to be with him. He was just my best friend and I loved hanging out with him, and I thought, well, if, you know, I love hanging out with him, he's my best friend, like maybe, I guess this is what love feels like. Maybe I'm just over fantasizing it and thinking that it's more than it is, and this is really just what it feels like. Which again is sad to think about when you go back to think about it. So in high school, I started thinking about my sexuality and putting things together, and, you know, in the back of my head, I think that I started admitting to myself that maybe this all feels wrong because I'm looking for love in the wrong people. And I started thinking more seriously, well, maybe I'm bisexual, maybe I like girls and boys, and maybe I'm meant to be with a girl and not a boy, and that's why I don't feel love in that way. For me, that was the first step in discovering my sexuality, is, you know, letting myself say, oh, I'm bisexual, I like boys and girls. But I never told anybody. It was all in my head, and I was like, it's okay because I can still be with a boy. I just maybe like both. And cue in the girl, in a sense, because looking back at it now, I was hopelessly in love with this girl. No doubt in my mind, looking back at it now. Anyway, I was that stereotype, the questioning lesbian in high school who had it bad for her best friend. That was me. That's a whole nother story for maybe another time, but I'm not gonna go into it too much now. So the signs are all there. I just, for some reason, couldn't put two and two together. I'd convinced myself I was destined to be alone for the rest of my life, that I was incapable of truly loving anybody, blah, blah, blah. Sad sob story, Danielle. Again, looking back at it now, I was in love at the time with my best friend, and I was totally oblivious to it. Anyway, moving on. So then I go to college with another one of my best friends, and we come across the After Ellen website. At the time, they had a lot of web series that I started watching. Recaps of the L Word, which then I started watching the L Word. They had a web series called Brunch with Bridget that I watched religiously, and several other things that just made it more and more clear of, okay, I fit in with these people, like I totally get this. Another thing that helped me a lot was the TV show South of Nowhere. Ugh, Spashly. What would I do without Spashly? Yeah, those, you know, that website, AfterEllen.com, and South of Nowhere, I think, for me, are really what helped me come to terms with it and, like, really, truly admit, like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely a lesbian. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind. And from there, I started telling people. I came out when I was 19. I was in college, and my actual coming out, the first person I came out to was my college roommate and my best friend. We went to high school together. We were in the marching band together. And she pretty much already knew. I didn't really have to come out to her. The second person I came out to was my sister, and I pretty much just went into her room and said, hey, Chelsea, I have to tell you something. And I told her, hey, so I like girls. And she said, okay. And I said, okay, I just wanted you to know. Is that cool? And she was totally cool with it. And again, pretty sure she knew. Pretty sure everybody knew except for me, so that's, you know, something. The third person that I told was my mom, and I didn't really tell her as much as she asked me. So I remember, and this is the one I remember the most clear. We were driving home from somewhere, I don't remember that, and talking about something, I don't remember what we were talking about, but it had to do with sexuality in some way, because otherwise I don't know why she would have brought it up. She just kind of came out with it and said, do you like girls? And I was like, driving, mind you, I'm driving. Yes. After I did tell her that, yes, I liked girls, we both kind of cried a little bit. She, you know, made it known. She's like, I'm not crying because I don't love you. I'm not crying because I see you any differently. Her concern was everybody else. You know, her concern was she didn't want me to get hurt from other people who didn't see it the way that we see it. And seeing her cry for me in that manner is what made me cry. But that was the emotional side of it, I suppose. She just didn't want to see me get hurt by people who would want to hurt somebody in our community, I guess. My mom told me when I came out to her, she said, you know, I kind of always had an idea, especially when you were so obsessed with Elektra and went to see the movie in the movie theaters like 5 times. And I was like, yeah, well, you know, she was pretty awesome in that movie. And there was a girl kiss in that movie, kind of, now that I think about it. It's funny. That's my story. I guess there's like several more stories within that story, but that's kind of the gist of it. So now here I am at 27, completely comfortable and happy and proud of who I am. I have a beautiful girlfriend who I've been with for 5-ish years, and we live together with our dog. She'll say it's her dog, but it's really our dog. What else? What else do you want to know? I'm more than happy to talk through things with everybody. So if you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of me. If you ever want to talk about anything, feel free to get a hold of me. All my information is down underneath in the description box. Feel free to leave comments. Feel free to get a hold of me directly through Twitter or Facebook or any of those fun things. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my awkward self talking, and yeah, go ahead and like the video because why not, right? Alright guys, for now, that is all I've got. Cheers. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. Ooh, you know what another good example was? Buffy. I was obsessed with Buffy. For me, it was always girls that could kick ass. It still is, because now it still is, because even now at 27, I fangirl and get too attached to shows. For example, Lexa, Clark. Those are my 2 examples for right now. What other? I really like Emma Swan in Once Upon a Time. Yep. But Buffy was like my OG for sure. And then with Willow and Tara, I just had to love them. God, there's so many signs when you look back at it that you just don't realize or don't want to realize. Danielle, you're a huge lesbian, like, come on.